Hey beautiful people, welcome to Bubbly After Dark with me, your host Qualah, and the cast of Bubbly Brown Sugar series. Today we are going to be doing a talk back on episode 1. So please get yourself a beverage, I got mine, and get yourself a comfortable seat because I promise you this is going to be good. Welcome back everybody to Bubbly After Dark with me, your host Qualah, and the cast of Bubbly Brown Sugar series. So let's just jump right into the questions. My first question is to the entire cast. Do you believe in soulmates? And do you believe that you can manifest your soulmate into your life?
Hi, my name is Rich Lowe, and I play the character of Caleb on Bubbly Brown Sugar. Yes, I believe in soulmates. I absolutely do. Myself, I'm a spiritual being. I can't really say that I'm 100% religious, but I'm absolutely 100% spiritual, and I absolutely believe in soulmates.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Figuereo. I play Kimi in Bubbly Brown Sugar. Do I believe in soulmates? I do believe in soulmates. I believe that they exist and that we can definitely manifest them into our lives because they're already out there. We're looking and wishing for us as well. So once both soulmates wish the same thing, yep, it happens. Some people are lucky enough to have it. I'm still looking.
Yes, I believe we can manifest anything we truly believe in. If you have faith and if you believe in God, I feel like you can manifest anything. As far as a soulmate, I believe all of us have a soulmate. Unfortunately, most of us never get to meet our soulmate, but I truly believe there's someone out there for everyone. It's a blessing to even be.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Tamala Baldwin and I play Jewel on Bubbly Brown Sugar. So I'm gonna say that yeah, I believe that we can totally manifest our soulmate. We can manifest anything, as Raina said, and I think it's just a matter of learning how to tap into that awareness, to tap into that power. And there's so many people in the world that I believe are fully not aware of those innate abilities, and that's why I wanted to start having these kinds of conversations to reach those that may not be fully conscious of the power that already exists within them. So you can manifest soulmates, you can totally be a co-creator of your experience. And I'm not a master at it, but I think that it's something that is a worthwhile pursuit, you know?
So again, this question is to the cast. How many soulmates do you believe we can get in a lifetime?
I believe we only get one soulmate. You have a bunch of strong connections that you can make in your life. You can make a ton of connections, but I believe as far as a soulmate goes, get one.
Wow, that's a great question. How many soulmates do I think we get in a lifetime? Can we get to finding the first soulmate? No, but seriously, I really don't know. Everybody has their own definition of soulmates. So for me, as we get older and we grow to know the meaning of love, like love entirely when it comes to friendship, loyalty, sacrificing for one another, I believe you can probably have more than one soulmate depending on the connection. But yeah, who knows? But I guess when we get older, that's when we actually know the meaning of true love and what actually a soulmate is. I guess we all grow into finding that out someday, I guess, right?
How many soulmates do we get in a lifetime? I believe that we get at least two soulmates in a lifetime. I think it's definitely possible for you to have more than one. Because if you believe in the cycle of life, we've been here several times. And because we are made out of energy can be dispersed and experienced in different ways. So yeah, you can definitely have a soulmate. And a soulmate, well, two soulmates, doesn't necessarily mean that they're lovers, that they're going to be your lover. A soulmate can also be your best friend. It can be someone that you love so much and care for, that you feel like you know them so well. Besides a lover, you know, a love interest. So yeah, you can definitely have more than one.
So how many soulmates do I think that we can attract in a lifetime? So I guess I'm a little bit different in the sense that I believe that we can attract soulmates multiple times. And I think that sometimes people think that a soulmate has to be a romantic partner, it has to be a lover. But I think that soulmates are people that come into our lives to usher our evolution. And with that, there may be some kind of pain that we experience. Only because I think that we as humans haven't evolved to the point where we can evolve and grow without some kind of friction, so to speak. So I think that those people that come into your lives can be your friends, your lovers. It can be all different kinds of people, can be your soulmates that are here to simply guide you to becoming your best self. Now, when it comes to like twin flames and destined partners and things like that, that's a whole different breed. And I think that Caleb and Jewel, we don't know yet. We don't know exactly who they are to each other, but there's a possibility that they could also be each other's twin flames. And we'll talk more about that, I guess, during another talk back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so without giving too much away, even though I'm really excited, what can we expect from your characters in the upcoming season?
What can I expect from Kimmy in season 2? A lot of strength. I expect for her to gain a lot of strength, and who knows if her soulmate is out there somewhere as well.
Wow. So Jewel is a character that appears to have done some level of spiritual work. She's really worked on being successful in the world as well. And so it appears that she has like all of her shit together. But what we're gonna see is that no matter what it may look like on the outside, and no matter how much you continue to work on your personal development, there are always going to be triggers that come to you from the inside world to really, really push you even more to being great. So we'll see how Jewel still has some of her own working or learning to do or growing to do as it relates to her family and some of her other relationships that are prevalent in her life. So she may be bubbly, brown and sweet, but you know, she definitely, you know, sometimes too much sugar can make your teeth rot. Just saying.
What can you expect from Tanisha? Well, what you can expect from her is more love, more prayers, more fighting with her crazy husband, Ezekiel. Love you, baby. But yes, a lot of more fun and love, and you know, just her being a wife, a mom, a church-going girl that still has that little spunk to her. But you will just have to stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Tanisha.
I know we're going to learn a lot about your characters in the subsequent episodes, but what do you love the most about your characters? / role?
What I love most about the character Caleb is the fact that I get to show so much emotion. The fact that he's just not the typical, or what the rest of the world thinks that black men are. He's a successful black man who's not out here just being a thought in the streets and wilding out and sleeping with a bunch of women, and sex isn't like the end all be all in his life. Like that's his goal in every situation. He's absolutely trying to make a connection with people. So I really like that about his character, because I really I connect with that on a deeper level because of I've traveled the world and I see what people think about black people just around the world, and I promise you it's not always good. And the stereotypes, I would love to just destroy those, in people's minds, because that is not who we are at all. But Caleb is a good example of that, so I love that most about him.
What I enjoy most from my character is basically that she allows me to feel a lot of emotion. She allows me to tap into all that emotion that I have bottled up as an actress, and I'm able to project that and release that through her. That's what I enjoy more about that.
What a good question. So for me, I think that I can relate to her spirituality. I love that she drinks wine and reads the Bible. That's something that I do all the time. And when I wrote that in, it was definitely intentional, because I think sometimes there's this connotation that you have to be a certain kind of way and follow a certain kind of regimen in order to tap into a relationship with God or your creator or your source. And so I kind of wanted to remove that. I feel like our creator accepts us no matter what. And even if we're having a glass of wine, I think the invitation and the openness to wanting to commune with the unseen is what is the most important. So I love that. I love that she's her own thing, that she thinks for herself. I love that. I also love that she is successful in the world. I love that she is very tenacious and she has a really awesome company that is growing, that she works with Qualah with. Yeah. And I think that I think it's also cool that she is surrounded by really beautiful, hot men. That's always nice, right? It's always nice to be surrounded by beautiful, healthy, masculine energy. I love that about her.
What I love so much about Janisha is the way she loves her husband, the way she loves being a mother, the way she prays, the way she believes in her husband, but knows that everything isn't perfect. So I'm so glad that you get to see that from both sides. You get to see them private, how they go through their own issues. But yeah, I love her. She's so down to earth, and it's real. It's who doesn't want the perfect husband, kids, and still be able to be you and have fun and not feel like you're just the wife, but yeah, I love her.
Hey, okay. I mean, the answers and responses is so good. Now, my next question is, do you believe in the law of attraction, especially during the Rona times? Do you believe that people are now turning to the law of attraction to manifest their soulmate?
I 1,000,000,000% believe in the law of attraction. I believe that there's power in the tongue. Don't be dirty. I believe there's power in what you say. I believe that if you speak it, you can will it into its existence if you believe it strong enough. Because you have belief and you have no. When you believe in something, that can change. Like I say, I believe this is going to happen on the 31st. And then the 31st comes and it doesn't happen. And then I can't say that I believe that anymore. But when you know something, you can never unknow it. So I feel like if you believe something so strongly that it becomes something that's knowledge to you, something that you know is going to happen, you believe it that strongly that you know it, then it will happen. And I believe a lot of people are going to be looking into that. And during the times that we're in, it's just very unprecedented times and insanely scary and just confusing and uncertain times. And I believe that everybody needs hope. But what if the hope was here the whole time? What if you had the belief and the power of what you believe and what you speak? You can manifest anything you want into your life. If you knew that that was the case, if you believed that, I think a lot of people would be a lot happier.
Yes, I do believe in the role of attraction because it's part of life. The law of attraction is our thoughts. And again, going back into the energy, the essence of of putting everything out in the universe and attracting it back to you, that is part of the law of attraction. You know, the law of attraction is very tricky. You have to know how to use it, and you have to be careful on what you're trying to put out there, because it does work, and we as human beings are very powerful. So yes, I do believe in the law of attraction, and I do believe during this time of an epidemic with this virus that a lot of people are going to learn how to tap into that. Those that already are learning about it and that have studied it are going to be enhanced more, and those that never heard of it and now they're just recently listening about it, they're going to use it. They need something to believe in, you know. So yeah.
I love your response. So these questions are for Zeke and Trinisha. Do you believe it's a good idea for people to get married in their early 20s?
I think it's a terrible idea to get married in your early 20s because you don't know yourself, you don't know who you are, but you still have I think you still can, I mean, I've been to weddings where I've seen people who were together since high school and they know. So if you know, you know. But if not, wait till you are grown in your 30s, because people in their 30s are still trying to figure it out.
So, as a married couple in the show, what do you think keeps these characters so in love and happily married? What's their secret?
The reason why that, what's it called? The reason why Zeke and Trinisha have an amazing marriage is because they know how to communicate. At the foundation of their marriage, they are best friends. And I think, they've both been raised old school. So they have a similar background. And also they have a lot of sex, all the time. Zeke and Trinisha have sex 3 times a day.
Zeke, I love your responses. I swear I do. Okay, so this next question is for Caleb. Caleb, do you believe that getting under someone or over someone or in someone or behind someone helps you get over someone? I mean, because it seems like sex wasn't that important. I'm just curious.
I don't believe that sleeping with someone else can have you get over someone. It doesn't work. Because when you just sleep with somebody right away, that's a physical connection. And getting over someone, the fact that you're not even in their presence anymore, but you still think about them, that's an emotional connection. And the two don't mix. The only way to get over one is to let time pass. And if you truly were in love, you never really get over them. You just accept the fact that you're not with them anymore. But that love probably will be there. It'll take a long, 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 long time for it to dissipate. But, you never know.
Jewel girl, why is your character reading the Bible while Caleb is getting it in?
I received some slack on that. But I don't care. I kept it because I really wanted to establish that Jewel was a conscious creator. So even though she had this thriving company, she, is happy, she still had to work at it. And I wanted to show what that looked like. So during the day, we saw what she looked like at work. And now we got to see a little bit about how she plays and how she also engages in an act of self-love. So I definitely didn't want to show that, she's all pious and do-gooder and Caleb's this thought. That's not it. I guess you have to keep watching to see more of her struggles and her junk and her dirt. But I just really wanted to establish that when it comes to manifesting, she is consciously thinking about it and putting in the energy to make it come to pass. So much to the point that it's nearly like impacting and influencing Caleb. Like Caleb's out there trying to like, get his freak on, and he just feels her energy, and like it's just like all encompassing. So I want to illustrate that a little bit. I'm not saying that all men are, manimals or anything like that. It was just to establish that part of Jewel's like background and story.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bubbly After Dark with me, your host Qualah, and the cast of Bubbly Brown Sugar. So, for those of you that are just tuning in, we have been talking to the cast about manifesting soulmates. We've been talking to the cast about relationships. We've been talking to the cast about marriage. Now, we're up to Josiah. Yes, you. Okay, so my question to you is, do you think that men get a bad rep for just wanting to have sex? I'm gonna take a sip to that.
Do I think men get a bad rep from wanting to have sex? I mean, in a lot of cases, yes. In most cases, I guess it all just depends on the situation and the person you're dealing with, and what that person is expecting from you and what they're expecting from the situation. But I think the simple fact that men are dogs, that whole saying is probably derived from that. So I think so. But at the end of the day, I feel like it depends on who you're dealing with.
So Josiah, what kind of business do you and Caleb have, and what are your roles exactly?
So what kind of business do Caleb and Josiah own, and what roles do they play? So Caleb and Josiah, they actually are in business together. They are app developers, and Caleb is the boss and I'm second in command, and he's the brains. I'm sort of the mouthpiece, the spokesperson, so I try to keep him grounded throughout and keep his head straight, keep his head in the game. So that's pretty much what we do without giving too much away. But yes, we're successful Black business owners. That's the best way for me to put it. Entrepreneurs.
Caleb, have you ever dreamed about a woman that you haven't met and then met her?
I've never dreamed about a woman that I haven't met yet. I've never dreamed about a woman I haven't met yet. Only person I ever dreamed about that I hadn't met yet was my son. Before he was born, I had a dream about him, his face and everything, how he looks now, but I've never dreamed about anybody I haven't met besides my son.
So I couldn't wait to answer this question because yes, I have. And I want to tell you all about it. So when I was in college, I was really, really into exploring my spirituality. I would go to the park and just read everything that I could. I was just really, really, really into it. And I started having these really, really powerful and prophetic dreams. I've always had prophetic dreams, but I think at that age, I was really beginning to understand them in a new way. So one day I had this dream about a guy. I was in this apartment of mine and I'm like having this kind of gathering, right? And all these people are there. And then on the other side of the room, there was this beautiful man with like these long dreads. And he just was like in these kind of like spiritual garments too. And he was just smiling and looking at me and waiting for me and just allowing me also to be great. Like he was allowing me to do my thing, to mingle. He wasn't on me like, baby, come on. And just honoring and admiring who I was. And so then the next day, I go to Virgin Record Store, the one that was near Lincoln Center on 66th Street and Broadway. And I'm like, listening to the music. That's what I would do on a Saturday. I would go to like Barnes & Noble and go to the Virgin Record Store and maybe the movies. And all of a sudden, this man taps me on the shoulder. And I could have like fallen out. I was like, oh, the guy from my dream! The guy from my dream! The guy from my dream. And I think at that time, like I said, oh my God, you're the guy from my dream. And he was also very, very on that same vibrational wavelength. So he wasn't freaked out at all. He was like, I saw you when I was up on the balcony and I was watching you and I just had to come talk to you. and this was pre-social media, so we went on a few dates, but then I ended up losing his number, and then I think I moved off campus, so the number that he had was no longer working. And so I think about him all the time. Not all the time, but I think about him. It's like wow. So that's my little story. What if?
Caleb, after your first encounter with telling Josiah about your dreams, do you think that your character will tell him again?
Caleb is not a sexual guy. So having dirty dreams is out of the ordinary for him. So he's definitely gonna be a bit off-put, by these dreams and uncomfortable. And I don't think he's ever gonna talk to Josiah again, because Josiah is a fool and he turns it into a joke and not really Josiah tries to understand in a way, but Josiah don't really get it. So I don't think he's gonna be doing that very much.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bubbly After Dark with me, your host Qualah, and the cast of Bubbly Brown Sugar. We are doing a talk back on episode 1. So we are up to our girl Kimmy. All right, are you ready? I know you are. All right, Kimmy. So we didn't really get to see too much of you. We only got a glimpse. What can we expect from your character in the upcoming season?
Kimmy is a really good friend of Jewel. She has a lot of crazy things happening in her life, but she does not want to share those situations with Jewel or anybody else. I think that she feels ashamed about what's going on. I think that she feels that no one can save her. I think that she feels vulnerable and she does not want to showcase that aspect of her life, that weakness, to people that she knows, so she has this mask of always being smiley and going about life like nothing is going on. And definitely expect some drama from Kimmy and a little crying.
Kimmy, I love you, girl. So now these questions are for Jewel. Jewel, what made you create a business about love, sex, and relationships?
I created Bubbly Brown Sugar because it kind of encompassed a lot of things that I know. And from a creator's point of view, it was something that we could do kind of easily when it came to a profession. So I couldn't really make her a doctor because I didn't have access to a doctor's office. So I thought about what I could do that made sense with the resource that I immediately had access to. And I also gave her something that I knew pretty well. I've had platforms where I wrote and blogged and did all of that stuff and interviewed people. So it was definitely very personal in that way, and I knew it really well, so I could talk about it in a way that was believable.
So question is for you, Jewel. This is your last question. Why is it important for your character to be using a vision board? What is the message in there?
So the reason why I have the vision board and all of those elements used is because I feel like I mentioned earlier, that we are capable of experiencing beautiful things in the world. I don't think that we're created to just sit here and to suffer and to experience low-level things. I think that we're here to create heaven. But to do that, it takes work, individual work. And so having the vision board is a tool that I think that a lot of people can start to utilize in their everyday lives to bring to life what they truly want. And even if it may take time for it to develop, I think simply the exercise of feeling your truth and believing in your truth is a practice that will enhance the lives and the experience of many, many people. And I simply wanted to introduce that to those that may not really know what it is, so that maybe they can start asking questions and investigating, like, what's a vision board, or how can I use a vision board? Can I use it for selfish gain? And on the second side, I also wanted to show that you can be someone that reads the Bible, someone that, you know, may read other spiritual texts and engage in those kinds of healing practices as well. I think there's kind of a misconception that you can't, or it's kind of like witchy, and I just want to break that stigma like completely. So that's why it's there. And if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. So everybody, this was fun. Thank you so much, Qualah. This was fun. So I can't wait till next time.
I had such a great time with the cast of Bubbly Brown Sugar series. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in to Bubbly After Dark, the talk back for the Bubbly Brown Sugar series, episode 1, with your girl, Qualah. I know you was having a drink, look at mine, baby. Look at it. Would you look at it? Let's take a sip. I had a great time. I hope y'all did too. Cannot wait for you to see the show. Good night, everybody.